on the field in today's game. It's the Browns going up against the Steelers. The towels are out, but it's set to be a cold one at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And that's where we'll say hello to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, despite the elements, these fans here in western Pennsylvania, they wouldn't dream of missing this one as you get a look inside snowy Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we say hi again, everybody. Brandon Gaudin here as we count down to kickoff. I turn to my partner, that's Charles Davis. And Charles, Larry pointed out in the open, we've got a pretty good matchup of wide receivers here this afternoon, don't we?
And those guys have such a big impact on the game nowadays. We know it's a throwing game, but the guys who can go up and get it, the guys who can break tackles after the catch and make bigger plays, oh yeah, they love spotlight as well. They want the football, they want the attention.
What we can see of the ball appears to be teed up and ready to go. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now we get a look at a Pittsburgh offense led by Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers, they've kind of taken control of the NFC North. Big Ben leaned on the kicking game in Week 15. Chris Boswell tying a club record with 6 field goals in the win over Cincinnati.
He showed a real veteran flair in that game, didn't he? I'm talking about Ben Roethlisberger, because the adage of take what the defense gives you usually applies well, but you also have to know when to take what you need. And late in the game, after those 6 field goals, they punched over a touchdown, and those were the winning points.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. It's complete to Brown, right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
If your day involves blocking Danny Shelton, you better pack lunch and dinner. It's an all-day job.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Third and 2. Now Roethlisberger. He's got time in the pocket. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The Steelers call here on the Aussie, Australian-born Jordan Berry now to punt this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now the third-year man from Alabama State, Isaiah Crowell. A gain of 3, second down. You know, Hugh Jackson said early on he was hoping to get Crowell 1,000 yards this season, but just 28 yards in Week 15 might have ended that hope. But you've told me you think he's a building block for these Browns.
I do, and I think that the numbers in this case about Isaiah Crowell don't tell the full story. Because remember, this is a team that's played from behind in just about every game this year, which means the running game gets neglected. They have to throw it around the park. That means Isaiah Crowell doesn't touch the ball as much as he needs to. You give him the right number of carries, good game situations, he's a 1,000-yard runner each and every year.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
They weren't able to complete that attempt, and that was a heck of an attempt there from the shadow of their own goal line. But that tells you how much confidence they have in their offensive line. Go ahead, dial one up, know that they can protect the quarterback, and let him fling one downfield. They didn't get it there, but they sent a message for the rest of the game.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. Now, the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little game. Bell, of course, missed the first few games of the season, but still top 5 in the league in rushing. Was, though, held under 100 in Week 15.
Well, he probably used a lot of that in Week 14 at Buffalo when he ran for 236 yards.
I think he's still running against Buffalo.
So he probably left a little behind. But what a matchup issue he is for any defense because of his ability to split out from the backfield and catch the football as well.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I go all the way back to college with Le'Veon Bell. One of the better body transformations I've seen, from a big, thick power back to the guy we see now who can do everything.
And 2 years ago, of course, last year the injury, but 2 years ago over 1,300 yards. I think they think he can top that this year.
I don't think there's any question about it.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's got time. Looking for the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden, with it. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The Steelers defense getting ready here. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3-and-out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3-and-outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3-and-out. After the interception, here's Griffin. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get 17 yards there. And it's good enough for a Cleveland first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On second down, here's Griffin toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. That time they were looking for the former Auburn Tiger, Ricardo Lewis. Third down here.
Third and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Still third down.
Third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw is now look out. Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. With it is Brown. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Here we go.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Sammy Coates has it complete. And he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and that'll bring up second down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, partner, you know I always tend to lean towards the defensive guys. But in this case, I have no defense. How about that run right there?
Yeah, just a tip of the cap to Le'Veon Bell, and that's what he can do. You think some people back in 2013 that had first-round picks wish that they would have taken him?
That's when you go back to your scouting department and say, what exactly did we miss here? Maybe some people have some new jobs. He's a big-time player, and if they don't start getting him on the ground here quickly, he's going to pile up a huge game.
And this is caught at the 8. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out now come the Cleveland Browns. Robert Griffin III, their quarterback, just trying to salvage his season here at the very end. Of course, the injury, missing a good majority of the year. I don't know. I guess time will tell about this situation, but certainly the marriage hasn't worked as many had hoped.
And I think it puts Hugh Jackson, the head coach, in a really tough spot, because I think he wants to see RG3 in extended play. Wants to see how it goes, see what he has to make an offseason determination, but he's also desperately wanting to win a ball game and show the team, hey, guys, what we do around here works when we execute it really well.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that'll be good for a Cleveland first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills? And it does it in so many different ways. In this case, You got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
They keep it with Crowell on first. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And trying to give a lift to this offense today will be the Duke, the former Cane, Duke Johnson.
Comes from a great tradition of runners at Miami of Florida. He's one of the best ones we've seen in recent years.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. And Griffin gives to Crowell. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Lawrence Timmons comes from a long line of productive Florida State players. And when I say productive, I usually mean spectacular.
So third and medium here, 3rd and 5. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And that's blocked. The Steelers get it. Now they can run with it. Picked up inside the 35. And they wind up with a football at the 31 or 32. Looks like the 31-yard line. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
However form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They'll run it with Bell. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Okay, give me that stat on Antonio Brown that we dug up before the game.
You mean that stat about how many catches over a 4-year period, that maybe he would be the #1 guy in the NFL if he passed Marvin Harrison, the recent Hall of Famer?
Yes.
That stat?
469, right?
Yeah, he got it done.
That's the reception number over a 4-year span.
He got it done even though he only had 3 catches in the game at Cincinnati. But let's face it, if he only gets 3 in one game, look out in the next one. He may explode.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. The give is to Bell, and he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On second down, Roethlisberger. This will be caught at about the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell taking it in from a yard out. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't it? Boswell for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. To return, it's George Atkinson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So the Browns take the field again on offense as they look ahead to next year. I know a lot of their fans have already done that. They're still in the tough AFC North. They're not avoiding that. But what can they do in the draft to improve?
This is going to sound trite, partner, and I don't mean it to. But what they need to do in the draft is actually hit on players. And that's been the tough part for them. They've had a lot of high draft choices in recent years, but they haven't really panned out. You have guys that were picked at two number 1 picks a couple of years ago. Neither one of them with the team at this moment. They've got to hit on the guys that they take in order to improve this roster.
On second down, Griffin. And he's got his man on the out route. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now Griffin on first down. And Barnidge has it on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It's a nice catch there by Gary Barnidge, and there's no getting around it. The emergence of him It's been nothing short of stunning, hasn't it?
Yeah, first 6 years, total 44 catches. Then at age 30 last year, he goes for 79.
Who says you don't get better with age?
They'll come out in the pistol. Griffin going to give to Crowell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play.
Okay. I'm the offensive coordinator, though. I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
On second down, here's Crowell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Griffin. And he finds Barnage. He's got it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And in this weather, I know you weren't a quarterback. You were on the defensive side of things. But how hard is it to throw that football?
It can't be easy because you never know how the moisture is going to affect things. And each quarterback handles it differently. Some of them are a little bit better than others. Depends on whether they want to wear a glove, not wear a glove. How cold is it? You know, all those things go into it. But it goes to everything else. Keeping your footing when you're running routes. Supposedly you have the advantage as a receiver because you know where you're going. But that's not easy as well. Finally, just locating the ball when it finally comes through the snow. Kids love it. Kids love snow. Players, not so much at times.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Red zone opportunity. From the shotgun, Griffin. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. Once again, Griffin. And he's got the first-round pick, Coleman, for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are back within a score. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And that one makes it 14-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter.
Here we go.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Finding time. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be out of bounds on what will wind up being the final play of this first quarter. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Crowell. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Griffin now to throw on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Coleman has it here right side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll try and run for it with Crowell. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either call pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, here's Griffin. Dumping it off for Johnson. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. And Parkey's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it first and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard.
Like 30.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second down now after the pass completion. They'll come out in the pistol. Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, He's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Hayward Bay. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Again, we'll see the pistol here. A give to Bell. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Another pistol look here. Again, it's Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. On now, Chris Boswell. He was 29 of 32 in the field goal department last year as a rookie. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Boswell's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one taken just inside the 10. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. The 20, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. An even 90 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Now Parkey for the extra point. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. That one good for a 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Caught it just inside the 10 at the 9, and his feet did the rest. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now the Browns defensive unit trots back out. And they really dug in deep on that last drive. They gave up quite a bit of yardage. Somebody must have said something in the huddle, though, because they got a big stop.
And someone on the sideline said, what took you guys so long before you dug in on that possession? But you're exactly right. To be able to grit it out at the end after giving up such a long drive, they have to feel better about themselves. Now they want to start this possession and not let it get to that extent.
Right, because they gave up the 3 last time. See if they can stop them here. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there, it doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the second level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off. Didn't have to knock anyone to the side. Didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off.
Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And there the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
And maybe expecting a throw. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. Throwing now. Roethlisberger on first down. Throw complete there. Rodgers. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They come out here in the eye. This is Bell, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now Ben going to give it to Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense. Still second down.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And he will find his man on the outside. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trick in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense. Still second down.
The game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get 1 play before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So 1:56 to play in this 1st half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. Yes. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half.
Send me to Orlando, please.
Don't be so soft.
Here we go.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Still second down.
A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
After the now look out. Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense. Still first down.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Can't find anyone open. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And on 2nd and 10 now. They come up with 1 running back. That's Bell. Roethlisberger will throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
Here we go.
On third down, Roethlisberger, a screen to Bell. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Boswell's kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board. But the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be fielded at the 8. They juked him. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Robert Griffin III now gears up to lead this offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Throwing now, Griffin on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Griffin on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Second down and 4. On second down, here's Griffin. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And it's 3rd down. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Griffin will throw again. Now this is brought in by Pryor. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 1st and 10, it's Griffin surveying the field. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Griffin. It's caught. It's Barnage over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And there's another.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offensive unit called the TO. And now we are ready to resume play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. And that 3-point tally now means we are even here toward the end of the second quarter.
And what a way to end the half. Put some points on the board, feel better about yourselves as a team, and you're right back to even.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission, all tied. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA halftime report. Let's look back now at this closely contested first half. Right now, we've got a tie game, and that just means exciting football for us in the second half, as we'll have two teams playing 2 quarters to decide a winner. All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. Moving to late in the first quarter, Bell's going to dart up the middle, and this run goes for a touchdown. Lead now at 14. Browns line up at the 3. Griffin's on target here, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown, cutting the deficit to 7. Steelers back deep for the kickoff. The return will start from the 9, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. We're tied up at 17. Steelers now late in the second. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Second half begins with a run by Crowell.
Come on, not fair.
Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Isaiah Crowell, 74 yards. And the Browns have moved out in front. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Now Parkey for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here we go. 180.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And if they want to keep this drive alive, they'll need 8 yards here on 3rd down.
230.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Here's Bell. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have you guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
They'll go again with Bell, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. Man open left side is Brown. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Fresh set of downs here.
Here we go. Right, 80.
They'll try the right side with Bell. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
They'll fake the give to Williams. Now it's Roethlisberger. Brought in by Coates. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They come out here in the eye. Now Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that will tie our game here in the third quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. Stays on his feet. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And we shift our focus to Isaiah Crowell. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy. 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
On the counter, it's Crowell, able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good, forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw on that play, they'll run right through those attempted plays.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Again, it's Crowell fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Griffin gives to Johnson on the draw. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. Here's Britton Colquitt now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. We get a glance at the Browns defense as they file into position, and they gave up a touchdown last drive. you kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles?
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect, because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway, because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway. That's for sure.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. It's complete to Brown, right side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Eli Rogers, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes the Steelers defense once more. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3-and-out.
And what they have to build off of, great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3-and-out. You feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
2nd down following the run. This is Crowell, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. And Barnage has it on the right side. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And Griffin gives to Crowell. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They come out here in the I. They keep it with Crowell on first. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Griffin going to give to Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
3rd down and 3. Griffin now to throw on 3rd down. Screen play, Johnson. 13 yards that time at a first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Now Griffin on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. And now it's 2nd down. They go back to the ground now with Crowell. And a solid run down inside the 30. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Griffin. And he's got his man on the out route. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. From the red zone now, here's Griffin on 1st down. Andrew Hawkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They'll run with Crowell. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense. On 3rd down, Griffin. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Andre Hawkins, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down. Well, third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And Parkey's kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So it's his third field goal now of the ball game, and they have needed his leg because this last one gives them the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, Brandon, but now you've got to tell your defense, hey, we need a stop here so we can let this momentum carry us through to the next drive.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. First and 10, it's Roethlisberger. On the right side, caught by Green. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. On second down, Roethlisberger to the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
But they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And the offense inside the 5 here at the 4. It's 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
Start offense. Still 2nd down.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. After the penalty, it's Bell. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. He's got time in the pocket. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And how about that, giving us our 5th lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it. And right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6th.
Yeah, we might see a 6th. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now Griffin on 1st down. Andrew Hawkins has it complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 16 on the pickup. And the Browns are going to have a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. 26 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Browns a first down.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll throw on first down with Griffin. And a big loss here as he's taken down. It's the first-round pick from a year ago, Bud Dupree. Able to get in and run him down for what will be a loss of 15 yards. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the two defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On second down, here's Griffin. A screen complete to Crowell. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. Third and long. It's Griffin. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he'll take it just outside the 40. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st down, Griffin finding time. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Griffin going to give to Crowell. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Mike Mitchell coming up from the secondary to make the stop. On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Lawrence Timmons, the linebacker, there to get him down. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They'll run it with Johnson. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Griffin on 4th down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Terrell Pryor, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And that score gives us our 6th lead change of the game.
Are we back on the playground on the seesaw?
A little seesaw battle,
right?
Yeah.
Up and down, up and down. What a game we've watched here.
It's been fun. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Roethlisberger on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Carl Nassib, the rookie from Penn State, coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Roethlisberger going to hand the bell. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Ben on 3rd and long. Surveying the field. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you. Maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around. But the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. He's got time in the pocket. And this is caught by Hayward Bay. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On second down, Roethlisberger. And caught right side, Green. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And quickly, they get to the line. He's back to throw. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. They'll look to throw. Hayward Bay has it over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Back to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. A gain of 8 and a first down. And they're going to speed things up here. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense. Still first down.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Back to throw. He's got time. This is Bell on the dump off. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Roethlisberger to throw. Finding time. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And now it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
False start, offense. Still 3rd down.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they've kind of got a situation here. Still 3 timeouts defensively, so maybe you try to run a play.
And if you do it as safe as possible. And I think maybe even quarterback sneak. Take care of the football and make sure that clock starts to run before they call the timeout.
We'll see what they do. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They come out here in the eye. They'll run it again with Crowell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down. Here's Griffin. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. He's back to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Griffin down to a knee, and that should be the final act in this game. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.